Billionaire House Tier List by Jack Pockets.
From a $2 billion mega mansion to a $50,000
$2 billion?
This is the
Wait, there ain't no way.
House tier list. Vladimir Putin has a net worth of $200 billion and he's got a palace with an underground bunker.
What?
S tier. Mark Zuckerberg bought 1,000 football fields of land in Hawaii so he could build a massive compound with a self-sustainable underground bunker, over a dozen houses including 2 mansions and a web of disc-shaped tree houses connected by rope bridges. Solid B tier.
Okay, wait, hold on. Zuckerberg knows some shit. Bro bought an entire island and built an underground bunker. He didn't buy a house in the United States where his business operates. He bought an island somewhere else in the world and built a bunker under that. What does he know that we don't know? Let's keep going.
1984, Steve Jobs bought a California mansion called the Jackling House. It was designed in 1925 by famous architect George Washington.
Is that a penis bush? Let's keep going.
Famous architect George Washington Smith for famous rich guy Daniel Jackling. Steve Jobs wanted to burn it down. California said no because of its historical significance.
Why would he want to buy it and burn it down?
Wanted to burn it down. He went on record calling the house a dump. He said Jackling had no
Why would you buy it
George
then?
Washington Smith was a nobody. He then abandoned the house and let it rot for 10 years. The house became...
Why would you buy a house just to want to burn it down? Are you... There's something wrong with Steve Jobs, bro.
That he was finally given permission to destroy it. 8 months later, he died, making the brutal destruction of this innocent house one of Steve Jobs' final victories. I don't get why you hated on this house so much. I'd say it's a strong C tier.
See, it's bad to talk about people that are dead, though. They might haunt you.
Had a peak net worth of $12 billion. He was said to have houses at every single beach and a ranch in every
See, that's how
state.
I would do it. Listen, if I was rich, I wouldn't just have one big house. I would have multiple houses that are like kind of big, but not that big. If I feel like going somewhere, I'll go and I have a house. I don't have to buy a hotel. I don't got Airbnb, nothing. I have a house already there. That's how I would do it.
He also had the government looking for him at every single state. So rather than living in his luxurious mansions, he was
That's
forced
probably
to stay
why
in
he had
the
multiple
street-safe
houses
to avoid the law. These unassuming...
Okay, so that makes sense. He didn't actually just have multiple houses because he liked multiple beaches. He was running from the law. Actually, if I became a billionaire, I'd probably have to do some illegal shit too, to be honest. I ain't getting $1 billion legit.
These unassuming homes had hidden...
But then again, does anyone become a billionaire without doing some scummy shit? Like, this guy got caught, but like, are we just in a world where the billionaires haven't got caught yet? Like, you know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, these people just haven't gotten caught for the shady shit that they've done yet. I mean, don't get me, Jeff Bezos has already gotten slack for like horrible conditions inside of his Amazon warehouses. So it's like, it's only a matter of time before something actually bad comes out. His billions of dollars cannot protect him in court. That's another problem, bro. You can't take down these rich bitches. They can just buy their way to freedom in our justice system. It's bullshit.
Connecting Chapo to a network of underground tunnels that allowed him to escape capture and keep his drug empire running. This man was a Harriet Tubman of crack. Solid F tier. Donald Trump's official residence is a 17-acre Florida resort called Mar-a-Lago.
Did you guys know that Trump refused to live in the White House because his actual house was better? Like, he's like the only president to never live in the White House. He just was like, nah, I ain't living in the White House. It's dog shit compared to what I actually have. Isn't that crazy?
After buying it in 1985, Donald made a few changes. In his yard, he put an 80-foot tall American flag. Shut up! In his bathroom, he added a few classified documents from the White House.
What?
But the biggest change he made was turning the property into an exclusive club. For a $200,000 entry fee, you could become a Mar-a-Lago member and hang out with rich
$200,000?
He was a member of Trump's club until 2007, when he got
people actually paid for this?
A teenager. Classic Jeffrey. The club's been printing over $20 million a year, making Mar-a-Lago one of Trump's most lucrative investments. It's a somewhat controversial house, but it is a nice place.
I mean, dude, like, controversial for what? Like, he's taking money from idiots. If I could just say, yeah, guys, you guys can come visit my house. It's a $1,000 entry fee. This would be banging. You guys would pay it, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would. I need to start doing that shit.
Being the Queen of England has a lot of perks. You get the coolest jewelry collection of all time. You get to drive a Bentley limo without needing a license. You get to pay taxes when you feel like it. But the coolest part of being the Queen is living in the $5 billion Buckingham Palace. This 775-room
that's actually insane.
Has everything you need to be the ultimate rich person. You got a throne room, a multi-billion-dollar art gallery, London's biggest private garden.
But it's not really yours because you're just there Well, obviously she was there until she died because she was, you know, queen forever, literally like forever, like her whole life. But there's like a bunch of people there with you. I guess no matter where you live, if you have that big of a house, servants are probably living with you, right? So it's like you're basically like in a hotel at that point.
ATM in your basement so you can take out a brick and flex on your 800 staff members. This place is
800
so big, it has its own
staff?
zip code. I think I'm too poor to even
That's
be looking
insane.
at this house. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, has 5 private islands. What is Larry Page doing on his 5 private islands? Nearby locals haven't noticed anything unusual except for a few helicopters. But in a 2013 conference,
Doesn't build
you may have
anything on
gotten
him?
a glimpse into the answer.
So there's many.
Why is he smiling like that?
Exciting and important things you could do. They just can't do because they're illegal. But maybe we should set aside a small part of the world where we can try out some new things and figure out what is the effect on society. What's the effect?
Oh, this guy's
on
a freak.
people.
So in case you can't read between the lines, Larry Page is using his islands to perform human experiments on children. S tier. In a 2010 letter to shareholders, stock market genius Warren Buffett said that his 3rd best investment was his house. In 1958, he bought a $30,000 home in a quiet neighborhood of Omaha, Nebraska. The property is now worth over 40 times what he bought it for,
insane.
which might seem like an amazing financial return. However, if he had instead invested that 30K into the stock market, he would have made $3 million. The reason Buffett considers his house such a good investment is not because of numbers, but because of the memories it brought him and his family.
Aww. What?
Mukesh Ambani, the richest man in India,
That's
dropped $2
wholesome.
billion on a 27-story mega
looks insane.
mansion in the middle of the hood. Creative
The middle of the
visionary
hood?
Kanye West said this in a 2018 interview.
I'm gonna be one of the biggest real estate developers of all time. I'm tired of the McMansions, all the Spanish roof homes and stuff like that. Like, that shit whack, bro. Like, everybody house whack. It's trash.
Kanye bought this house in 2023. It was originally a church in Los Angeles that he planned to use
A
for his
church?
Donda Academy school, but it's since been left to rot. In 2019, Kanye started building massive dome-shaped structures
that
inspired by Star Wars that
is
he believed
weird.
would revolutionize affordable housing. He was seconds away from solving the homelessness crisis when California shut him down because they already have tents for that. Recently, Kanye bought a $57
He just
million
built giant
Malibu
tents.
home, paid someone 20 grand a week to destroy it, then listed it back up for sale for $4 million less than what he bought it for. And
Dude,
on
these
top of
rich
that, the
people,
guy
like-
that he paid to destroy it.
I mean,
turns out he
Kanye
never paid
is
him. So now
definitely
he's also getting
insane,
sued.
but-
After taking L after L after L, Kanye officially announced that he would be building a 100,000 acre city in the Middle East. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, bought a $191 million mansion on the
Dude, like,
tallest hill on Hong Kong
that's
Island.
insane.
It offers a
Who
beautiful
needs that
view
much
of the world's
space?
most unaffordable city. However, Mr. Ma might not be able to appreciate this view any longer because in late 2020 at an economic conference, he made the grave mistake of criticizing the Chinese government.
Ooh, can't do that. He goes missing. Bro, you can't criticize the Chinese government.
Jack Ma isn't dead, by the way. He ended up reappearing in China a few months later. Hopefully, Supreme Leader Xi Jinping let him keep his cool house. Michael Jordan's mansion.
Oh my
Could be
God,
yours
I've heard about
for
this.
$14,855,000. It's actually been on sale for over a decade.
Yeah,
The main
nobody
reason
wants to
one's
buy
buying
it.
is because it's in Illinois. On top of that, a lot of the home's features are too unique
Yeah,
to Jordan.
I've
Not
seen
many
this
buyers
before.
would want front
Like he literally like decked his house out with things that are all about Jordan. Like, look, number 23, like he has his
gates with
face
someone else's
basically
jersey
all
number,
over the
a
house.
theater with someone else's logo, and a basketball court with the names of someone else's kids. Marking your
Yeah,
territory
that's like
is
why would I
effective
mean you
for
could change
keeping
it,
people
but
from eating your pizza and also keeping people from buying your house. Now to the average broke person like myself, having a $15 million house that's not selling might seem like an absolute disaster, but for Michael Jordan, he's probably not that worried. Solid D tier. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon.com from the
All right, let's see
garage
what
of a
this
house
weird
he was
guy
renting
has.
for $890 a month. He's now the 25th largest landowner in the United States. Jeff has properties all across the country.
420,000
His main home
acres.
was a $10 million mansion in Washington until 2023 when he moved to Florida so he could be closer to his family and further from the IRS.
yeah, I was about to say that he moved to Florida to dodge taxes, bro. I remember this. Washington collects $890 million in first year of new capital gains tax. Yeah, he literally moved to Florida and then like a week later or something like that, he withdrew a bunch of money from his stocks. And if he stayed in Washington, he would have had to pay taxes on those stocks. But since he moved to Florida, he avoided taxes.
He lives on a man-made
So, yeah,
island off
moved
the coast of
to
Miami,
Florida
where he bought a $68 million
for his
mansion. 2
family,
months
my
later, he
ass.
spent $79 million on the one next door. It's a pretty chill place, I'd say B tier. but he's also evading taxes, so that bumps him up to A tier. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman dropped 300 mil on a French chateau. It has a nightclub, a moat with an underwater aquarium, and modern technology that can all be controlled with an eye.
Bro, anytime I would build like a mansion in Minecraft, I would always put an aquarium behind my bed. I thought that shit was so cool. Like imagine having that in real life, an aquarium behind your bed. Like you wake up and you just like see fishes and shit.
iPhone. The building might seem like a historic landmark, but it was actually built in 2009 by Saudi businessman Ahmad Khashoggi. The wealthy developer probably won't be doing business with the Crown Prince anytime soon, because in 2018, according to the CIA, the Crown Prince assassinated his cousin. If Ahmad and the Crown Prince ever link up again,
can't be doing
might
that.
Be an awkward conversation. It's a pretty cool house though. Billionaire's Row is a New York City neighborhood with the tallest and most expensive buildings in the world. The people that buy these apartments aren't buying apartments, they're investing in furnished capitalism.
The majority of people who are actually living here aren't actually living here. They're using these apartments for places to store value.
It's a brand. It's like a Birkin bag. Where do you live? 157. Where do you live? 111.
That is ridiculous.
220.
In 2019,
but it makes sense though, because like if you have a bunch of money and you need to invest it in multiple different places, like if you put it all in the stock market and the stock market crashes, well, you're stupid. Like you gotta diversify your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot because I actually have a finance degree, so trust everything I say is obviously fact.
4 floors of 220 Central Park South for $238 million, making it the most expensive real estate purchase in the United States. 220 holds the most desirable view
you only
in the city,
bought
being the
4 floors and you spent $250 million.
I mess with Ken Griffin, but I think $240 million for a concrete brick is a little bit too much. Bill Gates
that's
has
ridiculous.
a $150 million complex in Washington.
I mean, that's
it
insane.
has an epic library with a manuscript written by Leonardo da Vinci. That's the only
like, why do you need
footage
that?
Of his house on the internet. So some of the following
what the hell is he doing with a manuscript from Leonardo da Vinci?
Will be made with AI.
AI is a brilliant tool.
Bill Gates has a 60-foot indoor swimming pool. Inside of it is an underwater sound system, but that's nothing compared to his personal Lake Washington Beach that is sand imported from the Caribbean. He also has a trampoline room, walls covered in screens, and his favorite tree that he monitors electronically 24 hours a day. There's some cool tech.
Wait, you know his old ass can't even jump on a trampoline without breaking some shit. So like, what's the point? I guess he probably has grandkids, doesn't he?
In this house, I'd say a solid B tier. In 2002, Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, got a letter from his accountant. It listed a few of his expenses, like his $25 million villa in Japan, $194 million yacht, and $200 million Japanese temple in California. Larry's net worth at the time was $23 billion, but his accountant was still concerned. I'm worried, Larry. It's imperative that we start to budget and plan. New purchases should be kept.
Oracle CEO and billionaire Larry Ellison has just made a rather large investment or purchase. He's just
he buys an island in Hawaii for half a bill.
Bought a $20 million home in 2014 with her then husband Kanye West. They spent 3 years transforming it into what they described as a minimal monastery.
Oh my God, is this the jacuzzi clip?
Expensive psych ward. This house is a really cool art project,
but it doesn't have a jacuzzi. You guys seen that clip, right?
You know we don't have a jacuzzi.
Can you believe that? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi?
Now you're in the middle of this strange time where you're
God,
selling your
Elon
houses.
Musk.
You say you don't want any material possessions, and
I'm slightly sad about it, actually.
well, if you're sad about it, why are you doing it?
On May 1st of 2020, Elon Musk announced that he would be selling almost all physical possessions, including his homes.
Dude,
And
Elon Musk is such a weird
each of his California
individual.
mansions one by one. He then acquired a $50,000 tiny home.
I think possessions kind of weigh you down.
True.
They're kind of an attack vector. People say, "Hey, billionaire, you got all this stuff." Like, well, now I don't have stuff. Now what are you gonna do?
Elon's $50,000
He's
tiny
literally
home
a
is
child.
actually his guest house. His main home is a South Texas rental property.
Like if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't give a fuck about what anyone says about me. I got $1 billion. What you got? Nothing. Like why does he care so much what people think about him?
It's technically only worth 45 grand, but he also spent 200,000 building an 8-foot fence around it and covering it with security cameras. Elon says he got rid of his stuff when he sold off his $100 million real estate portfolio. But considering that only accounts for 0.05% of his wealth, he still has a lot of stuff after all.
Dude. That was a great video. The Google guy is terrifying. Dude, he definitely is doing some weird shit on those islands.